If you or anyone you care about has ever heard the acronym GIRD, it strikes fear into any overhead athlete. In English, what that means is your arm will no longer rotate down. So in a fully healthy adult, the arms will rotate 90 degrees back and 90 degrees down. So it's a 180-degree range of motion. With this problem, what will happen is one will rotate in a short distance and the other will rotate in a correct range of motion. Now the question always becomes, does this matter? If you're a single-sided athlete who plays tennis, this may not matter at all. That rotation may just have been made up on the other side. You may be able to externally rotate further than you used to. However, if you're a swimmer, symmetry and technique is the only way you get through the water. So try that exercise, or I should say that range of motion, see if you can get through it. The next simple thing to do is called an aptly scratch test. We're going to have Steph turn around and face the other way. You're going to want to reach over your head and reach down to the top of your opposite shoulder blade. It's really good to have a camera to do this so you can get an accurate starting point. We're going to do the other side, and they should be roughly symmetrical. Nobody's perfect, but it should be fairly close. Then she's going to reach behind and set that, should be to the inferior tip of the scapula or the shoulder blade. The one thing with this is you can't walk your hand up your back. It needs to just be placed there. So Steph's range of motion in her shoulder is really good. So this is called P and F stretching. So the idea is that there's a restriction in one direction. So what we're going to have Steph do is pull back the opposite way, and I'm going to create resistance against that. You're going to hold that for 8 seconds. Then when she relaxes, typically the range of motion will increase some. Not very far. Please don't push this into a painful range. So you do it for 8 seconds, you relax for 5, then she pulls again. Creates that, I create the resistance, she relaxes, and again, hopefully it'll come a small bit more. Do not force this, we don't want to damage anyone's shoulder. So if you don't have a partner to create that resistance for the PNF, you can simply take a band, attach it to a coffee table, a refrigerator, anything that's stable, create that resistance, and then relax and let it come a little bit forward. Now you may have to scoot your body back a little bit to get more resistance after the joint increases range of motion, but this is a good way to do it if you don't have someone to help. The next thing to work on is the strengthening, to have that subscapularis muscle contract and pull your arm forward. So the real key to this is keeping that elbow up, letting that muscle do its job, pulling the shoulder forward so it's strong enough to bring it down into internal rotation properly. Do be careful when treating GIRD. There are 3 major nerves running through the axilla or the armpit. They run all the way down to your fingers. If you feel shooting pain extending down to your hand while doing these exercises or stretches, please seek professional care. That's not something you want to mess with. If you'd like to know more, check the links and subscribe.